Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. McTaggart. I miss seeing you at Huron, and I hope you are all doing well. For the next month, we will be spending some time learning about and reviewing the instruments of the orchestra. Later this week, you will see a few assignments in Schoology, but for today, I thought we'd start out by reading one of my favorite books together, The Remarkable Farkle McBride. This story will help you remember the 4 families of instruments that play in the orchestra. There are string instruments, woodwind instruments, brass instruments, and percussion instruments. While you listen to the story, maybe you can imagine what each instrument would sound like, and I know you will enjoy the silly illustrations as much as I do. The Remarkable Farkle McBride by John Lithgow, illustrated by C.F. Payne. Oh, pity the prodigy, Farkle McBride. No matter what instrument poor Farkle tried, whether strumming or blowing or drumming or bowing, his musical passions were unsatisfied. When Farkle McBride was a 3-year-old tyke, all freckly, bony, and thin, he astonished his friends and his family alike by playing superb violin. He went reedly-deedly-deedly-dee with all of the strings at his side. Reedly-deedly-deedly-dee, the remarkable Farkle McBride. But when he was 4, Farkle played it no more, in spite of his parents' beseeching. He shattered the records he used to adore. He smashed up his rosin, ripped up every score. He threw fiddle and bow to the living room floor as he shouted, "Enough of your screeching!" When Farkle was 5, his melodical gift once again bore rhapsodical fruit. The woodwinds inspired his spirits to lift, and he rapidly mastered the flute. He went roodily-toodly-toodly-too with all of the winds at his side. Roodily-toodly-toodly-too, the remarkable Farkle McBride. But at 6, Farkle flung his flute into the lake, notwithstanding its lyrical trill. He stamped on the dock till you'd think it would break. "That's it," he exclaimed. "I've had all I can take. That tootling gives me a brutal headache. It's so wimpy and whiny and shrill." When Farkle was 7, a different sound rekindled his musical flame. He became the most expert trombonist around, and the boulevards buzzed with his name. He went vroom-pity-doom-pity-doom-pity-doom with all of the brass at his side. Vroom-pity-doom-pity-doom-pity-doom, the remarkable Farkle McBride. But at 8, he declared to his parents' despair, and as everyone else might have guessed, "I can't stand the trombone with its blat and its blare. That racket is more than my eardrums can bear. So return it or throw it away. I don't care. I despise it, just like all the rest." When Farkle was 9, both his father and mum were bursting with pride and affection, for Farkle learned xylophone, cymbals, and drum, the entire percussion section. He went boom, bash, clang-em-a-clash, all the clamor that he could provide, tinkly-bing-bong-bumpity-crash, the remarkable Farkle McBride. But soon he fell prey to his usual gloom, despite all the praise and the flattery. First a sigh, then a sulk, then a frown, then a fume, then an ear-splitting tantrum that emptied the room. "I can't take it," he bellowed, "the crash and the boom and the clang and the bang of the battery." Poor Farkle at 10, howsoever renowned, reached the end of his musical tether. But then he discovered his favorite sound, musicians all playing together. It happened like this. The conductor caught cold on the day of a major recital. "You've got to replace him," young Farkle was told. "Your cooperation is vital." So he took the baton and he gave the downbeat, and kaboom! The foundations were shaken by glorious music, bombastic and sweet, that filled up the hall and spilled into the street, music that brought the whole crowd to its feet from the instruments he had forsaken. They went reedily, roodily, vroompity bang. Bravo! All the spectators cried. Deedly, doodly, doompity clang. The remarkable Farkle McBride. Since that sparkling night, Maestro Farkle McBride conducts all the instruments he ever tried. His happy heart sings to brass, drums, winds, and strings, and remarkable Farkles at last. Satisfied. The end. Thanks for being such great listeners, boys and girls. Make sure to check out Schoology on April 22nd for an activity or two to help you remember your instrument families. Bye-bye.